against our people, massacring them in their homes, in their communities, and taking 251 people as hostages. Today, more than 2 years after that horrific day, Prime Minister Netanyahu has continued to uphold his commitment to bringing all of our people home and is continuing all efforts to ensure this essential process is completed. Our final 2 hostages are still in captivity right now, and we will continue to do everything to bring them back home. The Israeli government, the Missing People and Hostage Directorate, and our security forces are making extensive efforts for the return of our 2 hostages that are still in Gaza. They are Thai national Sutisak Talak and Israeli hostage Ranilli. These are people with stories who were both murdered on October 7th. Sutisak was a farmer, and Ran was a hero on October 7th, working to save people. Their families deserve the right to have a proper, dignified burial and to grieve their loved ones. We will be releasing more information about Sutisak and Ran at some point this evening with a video statement about their stories, who they were, and what happened to them on that horrific day of October 7th. I can now share with you that Israel is preparing to receive the remains of one of these hostages around 5 p.m. today. We will only know it is officially one of our hostages once they have been identified by the Forensic Institute. Now, the world has been spun into Hamas's web of lies for nearly 2 years now. 2 years, specifically the media, who has vindicated the terror group by spreading their deception and propaganda routinely. What web of lies, you might ask? The lies about their commitment to the ceasefire, the status of our hostages, and taking Hamas officials' word while reporting on critical stories that shape this conflict and the region. On Tuesday, Hamas spun another web of its lie by claiming they were releasing one of our final 2 hostages in captivity. Instead, the findings that we received were not linked to any of our deceased hostages at all. Let's take a look at the screen right now where we have been tracking Hamas's web of lies since the start of the ceasefire. I'm going to be breaking down different lies Hamas has told over the last few months now. So from the start of the ceasefire up until now. Let's go to the next one. Lie number 1. Hamas publicly said they were committed to the ceasefire more than 51 days ago now. Lie. Hamas repeatedly violated the terms by not only attacking our soldiers, but by not releasing all of our hostages, the living hostages and our deceased hostages. This brings me to the next point. Hamas committed to releasing all of our hostages within 72 hours. That's a lie. More than 50 days later, now, we still have 2 hostages that are in captivity. And these are just some of the articles that came out about how Hamas agreed to the first phase of the ceasefire plan. Let's go to the next lie. Lie number 2. Hamas declared they, quote, couldn't locate all of our hostages. Lie. Another lie. More than 50 days later, only 2 hostages remain in Gaza right now. Another lie. Israeli intelligence assesses Hamas knows where they are. We've been saying this for many weeks now. Hamas is aware of where our hostages are. You don't just take hostages and lose them. You need to find them. And Hamas has used the media to propagate this lie. I've seen this over and over again. I've been asked this on interviews as well. Hamas needs more time to recover hostages. Hamas claims it can't find 18 missing Israeli hostages. Hamas says it has handed over all the Israeli hostages that they can recover. We know this is not true. Next lie. Lie number 3. Hamas claimed they found and recovered the body of a hostage a few weeks ago. We all remember this because it was so horrific. Lie. They planted the remains there. Remember this video that came out of our IDF drones? These were the partial remains of an already rescued hostage, Ofir Sarfati, of blessed memory. It was a lie. The entire sequence of events was caught on camera of Hamas planting his partial remains here, pretending to uncover it and give it to the Red Cross. That's the 3rd lie I'm marking right now. Lie 4. A Hamas official tells Reuters yesterday they were handing over the remains of a hostage. Lie. The Prime Minister's office immediately released a statement calling them, quote, findings. Lie again. Forensic Institute determined that these findings were not linked to any of our deceased hostages. And look at all of the headlines about a Hamas official saying they were handing over one of our bodies. Lie, 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 lie. 4 lies I'm counting from the beginning of the ceasefire when this first took place. And like I said, the release of all of our hostages is something that Hamas committed to at the beginning of this plan. Now next, to talk about another important development. The Rafah crossing will be opening shortly. In the first instance, this will be exclusively for the exit of residents from the Gaza Strip who wish to leave to Egypt. The exit will be facilitated through coordination with Egypt, following security approval by Israel, and it's a similar mechanism that operated in January of 2025. The decision was made in full coordination with the mediators of this plan.